I hope you had an amazing holiday season. So we're in this weird period of time right now, after the holidays, before kids go back to school, people go back to work, and I hope that you have a little bit of time off. And during this time off, this is what ends up happening. Day turns into night, night turns into day. We're eating dinner for breakfast, dessert for dinner. It's wild. We don't know if we're in pajamas or regular clothes. And during this time, if you want to feel productive, there are some really small yet meaningful organizing projects that you can take on. Now, you know me, I'm not here to overwhelm. I'm just here to help you make better choices with your cleaning and organizing so that you can get things done right the first time. So in this video, we're going to talk through a number of different teeny tiny organizing projects that are going to have a big impact on your home. So even if you don't want to feel like incredibly productive, dedicating a small amount of time is going to make you feel like you really accomplished something during these weird days. And just a quick reminder, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe to the Clean My Space channel and give this video a thumbs up for Pepto-Bismol Pink. First up, obvious holiday decorations. Before you just close your eyes and put everything back in a box or a bin, pick through each of your decor items as you put them away and decide, am I still into this? Is it broken? Does the light work? Is there a small crack? Should I get rid of it? And if the answer is yes, do you want to get rid of it? Then please go ahead and get rid of it. Don't pack it up for next year because you're just storing it unnecessarily. And then you're off-putting the decision that you've already made until next year. Silly, right? Now, if you find, hey, you know what? I'm really over gold and next year I want to get into silver. Okay, get rid of all your gold stuff. Maybe see if silver stuff is on clearance, or you can write yourself a note and say, by the way, next year make sure that you buy silver, or we need a new string of lights, and put that in the storage bin so that as soon as you open it up, you know what's missing. Now for the holiday decor items that you will be keeping, you want to make sure that you've organized them in such a way where they are easy to find and they are kept safe. So if you want some ideas on how to store and organize your holiday decor items, I got you. We just did a video on that and I will link it for you in the description box down below. How about those baking supplies? If you are an avid holiday baker, I envy you and I want a box of your cookies next year. But I'm sure that even a basic person such as myself, who has next to no baking skills, has accumulated some amount of holiday bakeware, whether it's a bundt pan, a pie plate, spatula, cookie cutter. I mean, you can really tell that I don't bake here, but there's got to be some stuff that you've accumulated that you're like, oh, we'll make those cookies next year. Oh, I kind of like that pie plate, but I like the other one better. Well, in that case, it's time to declutter your holiday baking supplies before you pack them away for next year if you do that. And if you don't do that, perhaps consider doing that. You know, take the things that you only use seasonally, box them up and store them away for next year. That way your kitchen doesn't have to be overrun with stuff that you're only using for a very short period of time. Now, if you want to move on from that stuff, you can of course donate it. You can also put it up on your local neighborhood's Buy Nothing group, or you can even just list it on Facebook for a free porch pickup, or of course you can charge for it. But trust me, there will be someone who wants to pick up what you're putting down. I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I will admit this since we're all friends here. I currently have 1,010 emails in my inbox. So something I am going to be doing is decluttering my inbox this holiday season. And not only does that mean going through all of my unread emails and very likely deleting most of them, but it also means looking at those emails that I'm constantly receiving, like from that one place I took my daughter to a birthday party at one time that signed me up on their email list, to, you know, a place I once bought clothing from that now thinks I want to buy clothing from them all the time. This is your time to go through while you're sitting watching some holiday movie and just click unsubscribe on those email lists. Just clear out those email lists that you don't want. Now, of course, like Makers Clean, there are some email lists that you do want to be on, but for the rest of them, you don't need to be on that. You don't need to have those emails cluttering up your inbox. Just get yourself to inbox 0. Then get yourself a little treat, like a cookie. This is a great time of year to declutter kids' toys. Why? Because they're obsessed with all the new stuff that they got. And this is the time where that old stuff that's been sort of cluttering up all of the corners in their bedroom and their playroom, this is the time where you can look at that stuff with your kid and say, you're no longer into that, right? and then you can box it up and move on from it. If your kids are old enough, feel free to involve them in the decluttering process, and if they're still too young, this is a time for you to go in and do that. Take a box, pack everything away. I have done this many times. Again, I will put it up on Facebook for free porch pickup, or I'll list it in a Buy Nothing group. I will contact a local community center, the daycare that my daughter used to go to, her school, her teachers, and I will just see if there's anyone who's looking for XYZ toys. And if that's the case, they are more than welcome to have them. And every time I go through this, I remind myself, next year we are doing experiences, cash, or one special present, because building up all of these small things feels really wasteful to me. So maybe have that conversation with your kids while you're going through and decluttering with them. Next up, your holiday outfits. Whether it's yours or your kids, there's likely some stuff that you like to wear around the holiday season, and if it is something that doesn't fit you anymore, is out of style, or that you are just completely over, there is no point of keeping that, because you're gonna have 11 months until the same season comes up again, and you're gonna look at that same old thing, and whether it's a pair of dangly gift box earrings or Santa Claus socks, if you didn't like it today, you're very likely not going to like it next year. So this would be a great time for you to move on from that, whether it's donate it or find a consignment shop and sell it. And the same thing goes for your kids, especially if they're little. The stuff they wear for the holidays is really going to fit them for just this one season. So once they're done with it, you can bag it up, box it up. You can either sell it online, offer it up on a free Buy Nothing group. You can take it to a consignment kids store, which is something I like to do, or you can hand it down. But just don't hang on to it unless it's a sentimental thing, because there's just no point. Another thing you can have a look at is that winter gear that you have in your front hall closet. Now, I know some of you do not live in a part of the world where there is snow, and I'm jealous. Okay, but I'm going to address everyone who does live in a cold climate right now. So you can just look out your window and look at the palm trees swaying in the breeze while I say this little piece here. If you have a bunch of hats, gloves, scarves, mittens, boots lined up in your hallway closet, at this point in the game, you're going to know what your family needs and what they don't. All right. And if you have, again, jackets or hats that you're just not into anymore, or too many duplicates, this is the time where you can sort of sort through that closet and pull out anything that is no longer needed in there. Lots of places, especially homeless shelters, will take this kind of stuff at this time of year, because when those cold nights hit, they want as much gear as they can for people that need it. How about those holiday cards and extra packaging? If you have been holding on to boxes, a number of different shapes and sizes for potential returns, well, think about what you're going to need and what you're not going to need. Then get out that box cutter and break everything else down. Take whatever you don't need to recycling. Now's the time. Trust me, you don't want to have a big pile of boxes sitting waiting for you to recycle them once you've gone back to work and gotten the kids back to school. The same thing goes for, any cards that you received over the holidays. It is lovely to get cards, whether it's Merry Christmas or whatever from the so-and-so family. Very nice. Do we need to keep that for 17 years? We do not. Now, if someone took the time and wrote you an absolutely beautiful, heartfelt card that really touched you deep in your soul, you can keep that. But for the rest of them, you don't need them. So sort through what means something to you, keep those, and everything else, bye-bye. Can we just talk about regifting for a minute, and let's all get on the same page here. If there's a gift that you received that you're not going to use and you're not going to love, yeah, you don't need to keep it. It's okay. And I'm sure there is someone or some organization that you know of that might actually really like what you got. And in that case, feel free to give or gift it to that person. Don't feel bad. If someone went out of their way to get you something nice, you don't have to feel guilty about it. They thought about you, and that's what matters. But if you don't love it, I doubt that person is sitting on their couch thinking about you, being like, I really hope so-and-so kept that gift because I put a lot of thought into it and that's all I care about and I don't have anything else going on in my life. Trust me, they've moved on, and you can too. I know it's hard sometimes because we feel guilty, but I think we carry enough going through a regular day, and this is a burden that I am allowing you to just let go of. During this time of year, you've probably flowed in and out of a number of different spaces, or have had people flow in and out of yours. And usually with that comes food and leftovers. So this might be the time where you spend 20 minutes just looking through your fridge and your cupboards and pulling out anything that you're not going to use. You know what always gets me? Those gift baskets. Like, people send these $200 gift baskets with like jam that comes from Greece and chocolate that comes from South America, whatever. And it's like very lovely, very thoughtful. But if you haven't eaten it now, are you going to save it for that one time in June when you have people? Like, I don't know. It's like, if you're not going to eat it now, when are you going to eat it? So if you have food like that building up, or you have like an old block of cheese sitting in the fridge and you're like, yeah, I'm full even looking at that. Or if you have turkey and mashed potato leftovers that are just, 4 days past their best by date, please just clear all of that stuff out now. If it's non-perishable, feel free to donate it at a food bank. And if it is something that's perishable, make good use of your food compost bin or your garburator. If you have a bit of spare time, consider opening up your linen closet and having a look at all of those towels, pillows, duvets, comforters, and bed sheets. Are there any items in there that you are no longer using? If the answer is yes, I have the easiest and cutest place in the world you can donate this stuff: a pet shelter. They absolutely love old bedding. And what's more, when you take it there, there's a really good chance you can see a cute cat or dog. If you participate in winter sports, this is a great time to have a look at and evaluate your winter sports gear: skating, skis, snowshoeing, snowball throwing, etc. If there is some gear that no longer fits the participants of the sports, this is a great time to donate it or resell it. And if you notice that any of your gear kind of needs some maintenance, like sharpening or waxing, schedule that in. And in general, if you find the area where you're storing your sports gear is sort of out of control, this is a great time for you to find some organizing solutions and figure out how to streamline that space. I secretly love gift wrap. I love it. And I'm also part of the underground consortium of gift bag recyclers. But I will say this, my gift bag collection is out of control. I just have to get honest here and say that, yeah, I'm never gonna give out enough gifts where I'm gonna need all of those gift bags before I receive any more gift bags, at which point I will then have more in the re-gift bagging pile. So at this point, what I'm gonna do is I am gonna sort through my gift bags. I'm only gonna keep the ones that I know I'm gonna reuse. The ones that I'm not gonna reuse, this is that time where I'm gonna call my daughter's old daycare, or I'm gonna send an email to her teacher or her school, and I'm just gonna say, hey, do you need these for arts and crafts? Trust me, they are always looking for supplies that they can have kids cut up, throw things in, glue on, draw on, stick feathers on. So this is a great opportunity to just reuse, upcycle, find a new way to put those gift bags to use. And for gift wrap, I love to have a good collection of gift wrap, but if you just have those burnt crispy ends of gift wrap or ribbon left behind, you're never gonna need that. So just put it in recycling and move on. This is also a great time of year to go through your medicine cabinet and pull out anything that is expired or no longer needed. This is your friendly PSA to remind you that no medicine should ever be thrown in the garbage or flushed down the toilet or rinsed down the sink. It can really affect the water supply because it can't be cleaned out or removed. It's just gonna linger there, and nobody wants that thing that treated the thing that you had if they don't have that thing too. And just in general, medicine does not belong in the garbage. What you can do is throw it in a bag and take it to your local pharmacy. Your pharmacist will be able to safely dispose of it for you. This should take you no longer than 5 minutes, but trust me, the next time you dive in and look for headache medication, you are not gonna have to rifle through 10 different boxes of illnesses of the past. During the holiday season, you might have had to set up some additional furniture in and around your front entryway. I'm talking stools for people to sit on, put their boots on, extra shoe storage, coat trees, extra hangers, any extra mats or boot trays. Well, if you're no longer getting that large flow of guests in and out of your house, this would be a great time for you to shake that stuff off, roll it up, and put it away in storage. During this time of year, people like to cozy up with a warm drink, and whether it's coffee, tea, or hot chocolate, you might have an abundance of this stuff in a basket, bin, cupboard, or drawer. So this would be a great time to go through that area, pull out anything anything that's almost empty, or anything that is expired, of course, or anything that no one at the house is really going to consume anymore. That way you can clear up that space and people can go in there and pull out what they need without having to pick through all the stuff that they don't. Well, I hope this video has inspired you and given you 1 or 2 little organizing projects that you can take on during this otherwise extremely unproductive time, so that you can come out of this time of year and re-emerge as someone who had a wonderful holiday season, but also managed to get some organizing done. And that brings me to this week's comment question, which is, what organizing project are you going to take on during this time? Commit to it. Find one little thing that you can commit to, whether it's something I just spoke about or something else. I want to know what it is in the comments down below. I am committing to you that I am going to get rid of all of those gift bags. I have absolutely no need for that many gift bags in my life. They are going bye-bye. If you're feeling inspired to keep your home nice and clean during the holiday season and beyond, feel free to check out this video right over here. It is 16 secrets of super clean people. That's a lot of S's, but trust me, it's going to inspire you. Even if you already do 15 of them, I promise you that 16th one you did not know about. So make sure you check it out. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to the Clean My Space channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next year.